Hello. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. What I do is I travel by bicycle, and I guess I kind of make videos to share my experience and show you guys what that's like. I kind of think of it like I'm being a data point for other people. So maybe like you could see my experiences, like what I go through, and you could decide maybe if you wanna travel by bicycle or if you wanna live life in some different way. I don't know. So for this video, I kind of want to recap a little bit about my last trip and talk about uh, talk about what's happened since then and talk about some upcoming plans I have. So, last time I traveled on a bicycle, uh, it was for 20 months that I was away from home, that I was away from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Uh, I I started off cycling in Ottawa, and um, I went up to kind of Yukon, Alaska area. I did a loop in Alaska, then I went up up north to the Arctic Ocean in Canada. Um, and I guess another thing about that is the first 3 months of that was in the winter, so it was very challenging. Not up in northern Canada and Alaska, but just across Canada. So like to about like Edmonton. Um, yeah, it was in the winter, so it was uh, yeah, exciting and challenging and very beautiful actually. So after that, so from the Arctic Ocean, I mostly hitchhiked to about Jasper uh, area in Canada, and I basically started cycling south. I went all the way down to Costa Rica, and from Costa Rica, so kind of in the southern end of Central America, I flew to Colombia, and then so that's South America, and then in South America, I cycled through Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. Uh, yeah, so that was all. It was about 9 months in Canada and the States, I think, and then 11 months in Latin America, something like that, roughly. So my intention with the trip was actually to go for about 5 years, to do a world trip, for like 4 or 5 years, do like a year per continent, something like that. So like the plan was kind of North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia. I was also in a relationship starting the trip, like a pretty long-term relationship, and I would say that long distance isn't for everyone. Uh, but at that point I was thinking like, oh, like it felt like we were, happy when we were together and we were happy when we were apart. So it felt like a relationship that uh, worked while being long distance a lot of the time. And so I guess the idea was to do this big trip, this big 5 year trip, and then afterwards, you know, get married, have kids, you know. Uh, that was kind of the idea, and to maybe to also, yeah, to get that kind of out of the way, to live this dense, adventurous life, uh, and then maybe like pass that on in some way afterwards. Uh, but I felt like getting all this like life experience early on, um, so that I don't know, I have maybe like some insight on the rest of my life. So I would say Central America was very rushed at some point. Like I was trying to meet. my girlfriend at the time and my family in Costa Rica for a vacation, and uh, so afterwards in South America, I decided to give myself a lot of time, like in Colombia, starting about in Colombia, and I also found that hotels were very cheap. But also at this point, this is when I probably started getting a little like tired of traveling. Um, after like over a year of doing so, and uh, yeah, so I was kind of slowing down. Sometimes it was good. Um, like sometimes it was healthy, and sometimes it's almost like a kind of a poor mental health sort of thing. Like I'm just sitting in like hotel rooms and like you know not really wanting to do anything. And there's definitely elements of like missing friends and family and missing being home. So actually, what happened is uh, at one point, um, towards the end of these 20 months, my girlfriend broke up with me. Uh, and it was, I mean, I didn't really see it coming, and I wanted to try to work it out as well. Like, so I went, so she was living in the UK at the time, and um, I mean, I traveled for months before this, but uh, still, and then afterwards I went and I visited her in the UK to try to, because it was like a really long relationship too, so I was just trying to like it didn't feel right to me that it was ending over uh like while we were apart sort of thing. But yeah, of course that you know it didn't work out, and we actually went from kind of talking, still being in communication before that point, to like not talking at all. Uh so I was kind of sad, and I also lost a lot of, you can imagine, I like lost a lot of the emotional support I had, I guess. Um, and there was this like new step of like, oh, now I'm not communicating with this person, and it's harder. So I actually, when I went to the UK, I had this idea that maybe I'd go travel in Europe and Africa afterwards. Like I'd just um, go and do that, whatever happened. But at that point, I said, like, look, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be miserable the whole time. Like, it's almost like these places also deserve like a better, like a mentally healthier version of myself. And yeah, so I went and I flew back home to Canada. So this was in the end of September 2024, and that's actually, you could see that in my last video. So I haven't posted any videos since. So I've just mostly been home in Canada. I could talk a bit about that. So I guess just for some context, I think like how I talked about like I biked in the winter across Canada, and I think during that um, I got the chance to stay at like a Buddhist hermitage, and I also did another like meditation retreat and stuff like that. So um, I think it's partially like dealing with like the difficulty of cycling in like extreme conditions. Uh, but I basically I basically got pretty like into Buddhism and like Buddhist philosophy and stuff like that. I was like into meditation before, but I really, in some sense, got more into things and started thinking about it a bunch more. And like, uh, I guess my point is my perspective on a lot of things kind of shifted. So I actually like, uh, in so actually like around January, February of this year, of 2025, I like wrote like a big essay too, um, about like mindfulness and mental health. It's kind of so I want to share it with you here in the description of this video. But yeah, it's mostly focusing on, I guess you could say, practical ways of understanding like cycles of suffering in your own life. Like, uh, I guess I think of it like uh, trying to trying to become more aware of your attachments. So like maybe you want to have some attachments or something like that, but uh, I think there's always like a cost to it, right? Like you could say that like attachments are like the sources of all suffering, and like whether you agree with that or not, it's uh, what I kind of think of is that it's good to be aware of your attachments and of your own like mental processes. And so the main idea behind the piece of writing is that uh, I try to give you like indicators of attachment, and it's basically, in some sense, it's almost like a meditation type thing that I was like using on on my cycling trips, you know, to try to like maintain like good mental health and good like awareness of my own emotions. So I guess the big thing I also want to say is that um, I feel like I did change a lot as a person through the trip. So when I came back, I felt, also like because of the breakup too, but like in a lot of ways, I felt like a different person than what I was when I left. And so a lot of a lot of the things I've been doing since coming back is like reevaluating my relationship with different things. So like uh, with um, with friends, with family, with uh, romantic relationships, with wanting to have kids or not, wanting to travel, uh, to travel by bicycle as well, with Buddhism, with meditation, maybe with like authority. I just have a list here. Um, Math. I'm really into math. Oh, like intelligence. Really, reevaluating my relationship with that. Yeah, I have here tutoring, board games. I guess with the traveling, something I want to say is Uh, I did go traveling. I went to in March. I went to Thailand with my mom. Uh, so that was really cool because I don't think we ever had a trip with just us two. Uh, yeah, so I didn't go on a bicycle. I didn't do any filming. Um, so there's no, I'm not posting anything on it. It was just, 'cause I think, I almost feel like it's not niche enough, to need, like, my perspective, while not cycling, I don't think would be particularly niche for, you could get plenty of other perspectives on traveling Thailand, probably, I think. But yeah, anyways, I was saying, like, so reevaluating my relationships with things. To me, it's really about being like open to how I'll feel, like to like going into. So this is kind of what I'm gonna try to do. I'm about to try to do in the future, in the near future. I'm gonna travel more by bicycle. Uh, and to me, it's about approaching these kind of approaching these things that to me are of like high emotional density, and yeah, and learning about my relationship with this. It's like, where do I want, yeah, where do I want like traveling by bicycle fit into my life? Uh, So as a result, I think for the next trip, I might travel for a long time. I might not. There's also like not being not having this like um, relationship or idea of the future, breathing down my neck a little bit, like uh, you know, it's like these are all because what it was is like I wanted to do all these things, but it's also like there's still a pressure because other people depend on my plans to have to stick to my plans and have to stick to my timelines and to be predictable to some degree. So yeah, so right now I'm actually flying with two friends. I think you'll see them in upcoming videos, I think. So they're Pam and Ryan. Uh, and we're flying together in 2 days to Switzerland. And so they're going to be traveling with me. Pam's going to be traveling with me for 2 weeks, Ryan for 3 weeks. We're gonna be in Switzerland and France. They're flying out of France. And I want to keep going. I want to bike through Spain, Morocco, and that's probably, and I guess I have like three ideas of what I'm gonna do, like a minimum, a maximum, and a most likely. So minimum, I think would be uh, Switzerland, France, Spain, Morocco, and the minimum I would say is about 5 months. And then most likely, I want to keep going down the coast into sub-Saharan Africa, into West Africa, maybe down to about Ghana. I'm thinking, and I'm thinking that would be like maybe 1 year. Um, so that's the most likely scenario. I think I get to Ghana and then I fly home, and then the maximum scenario I think is after Ghana, I fly to maybe Ethiopia or Kenya or so, and then bike down uh, to South Africa, I think. Yeah. So, and that would I don't know if I said it would add another year, so that would be 2 years. So maximum 2 years. So between 5 months and 2 years is what I'm thinking for this next. But like I'm also open to everything. We'll see what happens. Uh, so a few more things about this is last time I went on a trip, I saved up a bunch of money ahead of time, and uh, I wasn't working the entire time. This time, what I want to try out, I kind of tried this in Thailand a bit, but um, I'll be tutoring math online as I'm traveling. So I'm thinking like once per week, I get a hotel, hopefully a cheap hotel, especially in like Europe and stuff. Hopefully cheap, and uh, tutor online. Um, so like every Saturday or something when people are the most free and the time zones affect things the least. Uh, I just get a bunch of students, a bunch of tutoring clients, and then uh, yeah, make some money. Um, so I'm not going in with a lot. Like uh, I'll probably have about $1,500 Canadian when flying into Switzerland. So that's maybe uh, it's hard to convert. Maybe let's say 1,000 to 1,200 American, so somewhere in that range. So another kind of slight change I'm gonna make to the way I travel is I bought a new bicycle. So it has like these chunkier wheels. So my previous bicycle was up to 2-inch wide tires, and now I have 3-inch wide tires. So it's a 29 by 3. It's a Surly Krampus. Uh, I think I'll show it off in a bit. And I want to do a bunch of bike packing bikepacking routes, like bikepacking.com routes. So there's definitely one, I think at least in Spain and one in Morocco that I want to do. So yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. With my friends, I'm going to be on roads more, uh, because their bikes are less chunky than mine. Uh, but yeah, after they leave, I'm going to be seeking out off-road adventures. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this update, and I'll see you soon. With actual adventures.